Hello, friends of fellow nerds. We're here again at the second annual Kentucky Comic Creators Expo here at Moonlight Comics in Frankfort, Kentucky. And we're sitting down right now with Mr. Ben Zdrojowy. Ben, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic.
Man, I'm glad to hear it. Are you enjoying yourself today? Are you getting the good word out there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Good deal. Very cool, man. Yeah, it's always good when you can shamelessly self promote, and that's not a stab at you at all because we fucking do it all the time. We we constantly do it. Like I do it. I promote this show to the people who are on it, and they're on it. They know it's a fucking show. They're doing it every week, and I'm like, "Have you listened to my podcast?" And he's like, "I'm on it, asshole." So
This is a thing.
yeah, it's a thing now. So Ben, you're an artist.
Yep.
You're a writer.
Yep.
Just a man of many hats, right?
Absolutely. I'm also a musician.
That's cool, man. What a musician.
We'll talk about that one
Yeah,
later.
we'll get to that later. You're sitting at a table with a bunch of musicians too, so
Sweet.
very cool, man. And what are you wanting to plug today? What do you got going on? What are you working on?
Well, I actually just finished this show that we're doing right now here at.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the show you're on right now.
No. I stayed up all night doing a bunch of sketches, just trying to get a lot of ink work out. So hopefully give something to, it's always cool to give somebody a handout, just a.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you got to have the promotional shit. Now, there's a good chance your promotional stuff isn't as high quality as ours that we ran off
Oh, absolutely.
on stock paper in black and white.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, man, shit is expensive and we all have families and shitty jobs, so we gotta kind of stick to a budget here. So tell me a little bit about your book.
Well, the one that I'm working on right now is called Orion Star.
It's called. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What's it called?
Orion's Star.
Orion Star. Okay, tell us a little bit about Orion Star.
It's a science fiction fantasy.
Uh-huh.
It's right after the apocalypse. Humanity gathered together to get people in space.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a last hope. They're not even sure that they're going to find a habitable planet, but it's just to get everybody off the planet because it's doomed.
Oh, right on.
There's about 7 billion people on the Earth. About 3 billion make it to the ship, so these are obviously very, very large crafts.
You're right. Yeah.
They were built in space over a long period of time. We've known for a long time that mankind is doomed.
So it's kind of like a clock.
Yeah.
Like all of like a countdown clock, Watchmen, and
very much
like
so.
a doomsday clock. Okay, cool, man. So is it are you knocking it out in a one shot? Is it an ongoing series? You intend it to be an ongoing series?
It's not going to be a one shot, but I'm not going to draw it out to an ongoing series. It's probably
Just like
a
small arc. What we talking 5 or 6 issues or something?
Right.
Cool,
It'll
man.
probably
Very cool.
be
Very cool. Very cool. And that's Orion Star. It's called. And where are you at in the process right now? Do you have a finished product yet, or are you starting it? Or are you midway through? Are you publishing?
I finished the preliminary sketches, and I'm actually writing right now the rough draft.
Okay, so just on the ground floor of it, though.
Yep.
But that's cool, man. You have to start somewhere. Absolutely.
Yeah. Get the
That's
ground
cool.
running.
So you're I assume you're doing all the illustrating as far as you're doing pencils and inks and color and everything.
Yep.
Wow, man, that's a big job.
It's taken a lot of time.
That is a really big job. I actually had someone talk to me about inking and coloring a comic one time, and immediately just to be able to work on a comic, I said absolutely. And then I got to thinking about how much work actually goes into it, and I said maybe it's somebody else would be right for this job. Not to say that I have a calendar that's just chock full of shit. I'm not a wanted man. It's a lot of work, man. It's a big deal, and it's something I'd like to eventually get to, but who knows, man. It's
Yeah, it
time
is
is of the essence.
definitely a lot of work. I spend most of my time, if I'm not at work, I come home and I draw.
Now you going old school with it, or are you gonna? I know you said you've got all the preliminary sketches. You said.
Yeah.
So you haven't started laying out pages yet?
I laid out just one page to kind of get a feel.
Now, how are you doing it? Are you going to stick old school, or are you going to go to the drafting board, or are you going to go digital with it, or?
I'm definitely going to go digital. I think with a sci-fi.
That's probably the most efficient way to really do anything anymore.
I'm going to hand draw it and ink it first, and add all the different. I can't talk. Graphics and stuff to it digitally.
Yeah, I don't know if you're nervous or not, but there's really no reason to be nervous. We're a bunch of assholes that just kind of sit around and talk about shit. So.
I'm literally running on an hour and a half sleep.
Oh, I know how that is, man.
So,
That's
understandable.
cool.
Oh, I was just going to ask you where you take your inspiration from. Like,
Kenneth Rockerford is one of my all-time favorites. I've followed him
Right on.
since the beginning, and he's just an amazing artist. It doesn't matter what story lands in his hand. He has a way of transforming it and making it his own, which very few artists I think can do. A lot of times you see their weaknesses by you see the different stories that they take, and they don't have a way of making it their own. They just try to go with the flow as best they can. It's like he takes it and owns it no matter what it is. And I admire
Very
that.
cool, man. Very cool. Now here's the question of the day that we're asking everybody we sit down to interview.
No. I think that would be a biased question only because of his shirt. So I want to pose a different scenario.
Go ahead, Lee. What you got?
Okay, the question we've been asking is who would win in a fight between Wolverine and Mr. Miyagi? Based on your shirt, we're not going to ask you that question. I'm going to ask you one. Mr. Miyagi versus Bruce Lee. Who wins?
I love Mr. Miyagi. But
Ah,
He
I'm
said
gonna have to
but
go with Bruce Lee.
in your mouth.
get the fuck off my shirt.
reasons.
Wow,
Please
what-
state reasons.
Yeah,
We
why don't you
cannot
give us a
back
reason
it
why
up.
Bruce Lee is going
Because
to beat
it's
Mr.
Bruce
Miyagi?
fucking Lee.
Yeah, he dedicated his entire life to bring martial arts to the floor.
Not to bonsai trees.
Yeah, but Mr. Miyagi was a fisherman.
If the Karate Kid had learned under Bruce Lee, his movies would have been different.
You know when we did that episode, Lee, that was the only one that I saw that you really got genuinely mad about.
Yeah.
Was Mr. Miyagi.
I was
versus
the
Bruce
only
Lee.
person. These,
Yeah.
they're Karate Kid fans, and I am too. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
it's Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Let's,
Let me wipe that off for you.
I got a napkin. And that's cool, man. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, regardless of how uninformed it is. Opinions are like assholes, Lee. What can I
Yeah.
say, buddy? That's pretty cool, man. So, you're a big comics fan, is that? I assume.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I can tell by your shirt.
Yeah.
You big X-Men supporter, big X-Men fan, or?
Yeah, I actually kind of a rough home story, like I guess a lot of people, and
Sure.
I started buying comics. That's how I learned to read. I'm
Very cool.
dyslexic, and I can't read
Not
very
cool.
well, and X-Men just kind of launched me into a cool, interesting family, and
Right on, man.
just been a fan ever since.
Well, speaking of Gambit, who is I enjoy, but
Mhm.
have you heard the recent news of who's going to be playing Gambit?
I haven't.
Chandler Potato.
Channing Tatum.
Channing
No.
Tatum.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
No.
what, man? I'll tell you what.
Mr. Marvelous Meatloaf himself,
or as
whatever the name of that
As
movie was.
Consuelo on Family Guy would say,
No.
I got to be honest, man. I'm a huge Channing Tatum fan. Those abs, that body, good God, man.
We're all jealous.
you would just lay down and let him interview.
But stay the fuck away from my comic book movies, Chandler Potato.
I was going to ask you, but we did one while back. What was your first comic that you ever got?
The first comic I ever got was actually an all-star comic with Superman on the front and everybody laying around him in, I guess, shambles. And in the
As is per usual.
what was so funny though is when I read the book, he's only in it for like two like little pictures. This story has nothing to do with him at all.
So he's on the cover and he's in 2 panels?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's bizarre. I'm not familiar with that issue. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Right on.
I've still got it.
That's pretty cool, man. We're gonna wrap it up. Ben, thank you so much for sitting down with us. Is there anything
thank
you want to
you.
throw out and then shamelessly plug while you're here? You got a Facebook page, website, anything? Kickstarter campaign, anything?
I do have a Facebook. Just send me a message. Ben Zdrojowy. That's ZDROJOWY. And I can.
Thank you for spelling that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. That's gonna do it, Ben. Thank you so much again, man. And we
Absolutely.
really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
I can't read the book and can't wait to see it, man. We're very excited.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
bud.
Thanks, Ben.